Hello, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Darin and this is DerinsCorner. On this channel, I talk about lifestyle, travel, and all things food. If this is your first time, please don't forget to like my video, to subscribe, and turn on your notifications. Today, I'm going to continue with the lentils recipe. I already made lentils akara, and if you've not checked out that video, I'm going to put a link here, so please go ahead and check it out. However, for this video, before we dive in, did you know that lentils are one of the world's oldest cultivated crops? They date back over 9,000 years and originated from the Middle East and South Asia. They've been a staple in diet for centuries. They are packed with plant-based protein, fiber, iron, and folate. And lentils are not only heart healthy, but they also are great for digestion and energy. Whether you buy the red lentils, the green lentils, or the brown lentils, these tiny legumes are a powerhouse of nutrition and flavor, and it is perfect for our delicious lentils wrap that we're going to be making today. So I'm just going to go ahead and wash off my lentils, and after I'm going to be soaking it overnight. So you want to soak your lentils overnight. Don't skip that step because that's what's going to make it very soft and smooth. So make sure you soak it overnight. And after you soak it overnight, the following day, you're going to blend it. And that's what I'm doing right now. So when you're blending your lentils, this is the time to make the lentils your own and to make your wrap your own. You're going to add a little bit of water. So you don't want to add too much water. I would say for every 1 cup of lentils, add about 3/4 cups of water into your blender, and add anything you want to add. I'm going to be adding, obviously, you're going to add a little bit of salt. I'm going to be adding in some paprika for some heat, and I'm also going to be adding in some habanero as well. I like my food spicy, so that's why I'm adding habanero as well as paprika. But if you're not a fan of spicy food or hot food, then skip this step and just add some salt if you just wanted to have a plain wrap. I also added a little bit of Cayenne pepper. And now I'm going to be blending it into a smooth paste. You want to make sure you have a good blender for this. And now I'm going to be telling you what you shouldn't do. You would think you have a good skillet, or perhaps you have good frying pan, a non-stick frying pan, but that is the mistake most people make. Yeah, you're going to see the mistake right now. So I've gotten in my pan and I'm thinking, yeah, I have a very good non-stick pan. I use this pan for pancakes and this should work well, based on what I've seen. It should actually be good. But boy, was I wrong about this. So don't make the same mistake I made. This is error number 1. Don't try to use a pan that is not really non-stick. I know there's some very, very, very good ones. But this one, to do your omelette, is going to do pancakes very fine. But for some weird reasons, the lentils is a little bit sticky, so it's not going to work. So I changed the pan and I said, okay, let me use this other frying pan. And I thought this was also going to work, but obviously it didn't work as well. So this was error number 2. And I'm just showing you this because I know that a lot of people have tried to make this recipe before and they've encountered this particular issue. And I'm going to give you a trick on what you would do to make sure you get the perfect wrap. And just stand by and follow me along as I continue with this video. So this is error number 2. This definitely didn't work out well for me as well. I tried to flip it and you can see that I was struggling. It was already getting stuck to the base of the pan. And even though I tried to flip, it was already, it wasn't for me. The top looked all right. So I said, okay, let me use the top lid, and boy, see what came out. This didn't work at all. So this is my failed attempt initially at making lentils. So I'm going to show you what you should do. So just get a parchment paper if you want to have lentils and you've tried it this method I've done before, frying it directly in a frying pan, on a non-stick pan or a skillet or whatever pancake pan, whatever pan you have that you think is non-stick. Just forget about it. So get a parchment paper and cut the parchment paper. So what I'm trying to do is to cut out the parchment paper so that it makes a circle in my pan. And so just use your scissors, use your kitchen scissors to cut it out. Make a good circle in your frying pan and place that in the pan. So that's number one step. And just make sure you place it properly in the pan so that it sits into the base of the pan. And once it sits into the base of the pan, the next thing you're going to be doing would be to spray it with your oil sprayer, just like you would have done with in a frying pan. So just spray it with the oil sprayer. You don't want to put in too much oil. We're using parchment paper. Parchment paper will definitely work for this recipe. And so I'm just pouring in my lentils batter into the paper, and you just use your spoon because your butter is going to be a little bit thick. Use your spoon to move it around to form the circle, right? So just use your spoon to form that circle. And if it's not as thick as mine, it depends on how you want your wrap to be. If you want it to be very thin, make your butter lighter. But I do like some form of chunk in mine. So that's why this particular one is thick. So just use your spoon. If it's thick and it's not moving in around your parchment paper, use your spoon to just spread it out. And you can see that this is what would work. If you do this on a normal pan, it's not going to work. So with parchment paper, you can see how easy it was for me to flip it. And so that is the trick. I hope you stayed with me till this. Otherwise, you would have just missed out the whole essence of this video. So if you're still following me through, thank you so much. Don't forget to like, to subscribe, and turn on your notifications. And then this is it. I'm just gonna move it and do the second one. And so this is what I'm going to do for all my till my batter finishes. So just continue to do this, and use your spoon to move it around and to form that circular shape. And you just allow it to cook on that side. The way you would know whether it cooks is you start seeing those bubbles at the surface, as you would have for pancakes. So you just have little bubbles on the surface of the batter, and then once you flip the edge and it comes off easily, then you will know it is about time for you to flip the batter. And so you're going to flip it on both sides. And if it's getting too stuck, you can just use your oil sprayer to just spray the sides, spray the top of your the lentils batter, and that would work as well. So just do that. Use a spoon and just make that circular motion on your butter. So I'm going to do this for all my lentils batter till everything is good to go, and then I'm going to just go ahead and flip it and do the same for the remaining of my butter. So let's just continue, sit down and enjoy this video while I continue to make my lentils wrap. And you can see that I'm just spraying it because it was getting stuck to the parchment paper. So just a little bit of spray and you turn and you have your butter as good as that, and then you continue. I'm going to continue to do this. The other thing you also want to know is that once your parchment, because the parchment paper is burning, right? So once it gets darker, just change it. Do the same process, like cut out another circular portion and do the same thing, right? But once it gets dark and is ready to change, just go ahead and change it. Don't be stingy with your parchment paper. You don't, otherwise you're not gonna like the outcome, right? If it gets burnt to that level whereby the paper is torn, then your butter is going to seep out and then get stuck on the frying pan. So that's the reason why you want to change it as often as possible. All right then, so continue to watch my video, and I'm going to come back and show you what the finished product looks like.
酔いしれる心を揺さぶるグルーブで胸騒ぎがしてるリズムに乗って駆け抜けよう都会の光に夢中でも街の喧騒が胸を侵す忘れられない人思い出と混ざる高鳴る街の音静かに潜むこの感じ全部君と共有したいんだ誰もが踊る街のことを乗り込んでくる感情のメロディー走り出せるような情熱のステップ一人じゃないこの街の一員夜明けまでの旅はまた終わらない光に彩られた街の風景踊る心ような注している音を響かせて道の人街のことを乗り込んでくる感情のメロディー走り出せるような情熱のステップ一人じゃないこの街の一員夜明け前のパーティーはまた終わらない光に踊られた街の風景踊る心を要求している音を響かせて道の人夜に囲まれた街の中人々は急ぎ足で闇を駆け抜ける無音の光車の騒音この街のリズムを感じてるカフェでいっぱい
So I'm on the last batch. So this is the last piece that I'm making, and you can see that I just flipped it over. And just be careful. You can just be careful. Don't burn your hand. I'm used to doing this, so if you're not used to doing this, just use your spatula, okay? And so this is what it looks like. So you can actually move it around in your pan as well. And yeah, once the other side gets cooked and has that, roti look, then it is good to go. And that is it. That's the last batch of my lentils wrap. So the good thing about lentils wrap is like it's very nutritious. So instead of having like your normal white wrap, and you can see how I'm folding it into different shapes, you can use this in place of that. So you can have this with like a shawarma wrap, you can use it for quesadillas, you can use it for different things, and it's actually malleable. It's very good, it's nutritious. You're going to be cutting down on carbs and increasing the protein, so very, very versatile. In terms of taste, obviously it doesn't taste like your normal tortilla wraps, right? It still has that lentils taste. If you know how lentils taste, it's the same taste as lentils. But then it is what it is, right? You're trying to move away and cutting down on your sugars. That's why you're going for the lentils wrap. So it is what it is, and yeah, it's definitely gonna work for you. And I'm gonna go ahead. The good thing about it is you make batches and then freeze it, and whenever you need it, just bring it out. So I'm just gonna put it in a Ziploc bag, and I'm gonna keep this in my freezer, and anytime I need it. So this is the following day. I wanted to have like a small wrap, and I used it for this. And so I'll see how it is. I had to grill it, and if you want a video of this, I can show you the kind of wraps I make with my lentils wrap. And I just took a bite, and this is it. It is yummy. And this is another day, and I made another wrap. So this was like onions, chicken, bell peppers wrap. And that is it, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you really did enjoy this video and you've learned how to make your own lentils wrap. If you love this video, please give me a thumbs up, and please share this video as much as you can. I would really appreciate that. Thank you, and have a nice day. Bye.